Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk About It podcast. Listen, I am your host, Tony McAveen, and today I'm extremely excited to come on and continue part 2 about this topic of submitting to your man. Women that's aged 30 years old or older. If you're not married yet, here's the reason why. I did part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1, please look at part 1 before you come over and listen to this, what I'm about to say in part 2. But before I get started, man, I just want to thank everybody, the enormous responses that I received on this topic. So many comments, so many messages, a tremendous amount of messages that was sent to me concerning it. And before I get started with part 2 of this discussion, I want to read just some of the messages that were sent, okay? Just a few. One lady says, I am a natural submissive woman. I also believe in Ephesians chapter 5. All right, then we have another woman says, she asked the question, doesn't it work both ways? Give and take to be equal. All right, and then another man, he came on and said, man, you just got a fan from the United Kingdom. I love your wisdom, man. Appreciate it. Another young lady came on and she said, if the man is an Ephesians 5 man, then yes, absolutely. He exhibits leadership and has a plan. It is not a chore to submit to an Ephesians 5 man. His approach to you will be different. And then she goes on and lists, well, she says, number 1, he will know how to love you as a friend first with agape love, which will be evident and which is life-changing. That man, absolutely, no problem at all. So I guess she's saying if the man is like that, then she has absolutely no problem at all submitting to him. Well, ladies, what I want you to pay attention to is notice what I said. And I want you to pay attention to what's the topic of discussion here. And I don't want you to lose sight of that. The topic of discussion is ladies 30 years of age or older and not married yet. Here's the reason why. So what you have to do, ladies, is don't change the narrative. Don't put the attention no place else but on yourself. This is an opportunity and a moment for you to just look at yourself. You don't pay attention to the man right now because this is what you have to do. You have to get yourself together first, okay? You can't worry about pulling the beam out of someone else's eye when you got one in yours. So what is that saying? Let me pay attention to what I need to take care of first. So let me deal with myself first. And that's what I want you to do, ladies. Pay attention to what I'm saying that pertains to you and how you have to get yourself together in order to get the husband that you want. Because, ladies, you have to pay attention. You don't propose. You're not the one doing the proposing. It is the man that's doing the proposing, not the woman. So it is the man that is choosing the wife. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. So if it's the man that's choosing the wife, then there is certain qualities that man is looking for, especially a man of quality, a high value man. A man of value, a man of quality. He's looking for that. Okay? So that's why I'm, expressing to you, ladies, keep the attention and the focus on you And what you have to do, okay, is kill that cliche. Please kill that saying of if he's this and that, then okay, I'll submit to him. But first, he got to exemplify this and this and that and that. And if he's that and that, then I'll submit to him. Well, that's absolutely wrong. You're going to be by yourself for a very long time. Because even in the Bible, and I see many of you are quoting back to me Ephesians 5. So let me quote Ephesians 5. It said, for a woman, the wife, to submit to her husband. But I want you to pay attention to something. It did not say if. There was never an if behind it. It was no condition. You are the ones that's making it conditional when it's not conditional. This is who you are. This is who you are supposed to be. You are supposed to be a woman that submits to her man, because submitting to him brings so much joy that I'm going to share with you in a minute into his life and into that relationship, ladies. That's what you got to understand. So please get rid of the mentality of I will submit if he is this or if he is that. No, ma'am. No, sir. I mean, no, ma'am. You have to be a woman that submits to her man, period. Because that's what we as men are looking for. Okay? We are looking for that. If I was looking, that's what I'm looking for. Because I'm the one that's going to issue the proposal, not you. I'm the one that's going to ask you to marry me. But first, I have to see if you line up and have possessed the qualities and the attributes that's necessary for you and I to have a productive, beautiful, long life together. So ladies, you have to be submissive from the jump and stop running from that word submitting like it's some bad word. It's not. It's one of the most beautiful words in the dictionary. So let me explain to you further what I mean when I say submitting. Let's get an understanding even better when I talk about submitting. I wrote some things down here. Let me give you what I wrote so I don't forget anything. First, I'm going to start with what submission is not. Okay? What it is not in a marriage. Let's start there. What submitting and submission is not. First, let me say I believe submission in marriage is not servanthood, inferior, docile, degrading, and not a sign of weakness. In fact, submission in marriage is a sign of strength, not weakness. It requires a great degree of personal strength of character. Submission in a relationship is a spirit of respect a wife has towards her husband. It is an attitude intended to help her and her husband to live in a more contentful, peaceful life together. Problems and disagreements between a husband and a wife in a marriage are inevitable. It will happen. Nothing can stop that. But when a woman has an attitude of submission in marriage, a heart of respect for her man, it is much more likely the inevitable problems will be resolved harmoniously, without unpleasant quarreling and without bitterness and resentment. So in other words, without all of this fussing and fighting. And that is not to say it will be so because the man dominates and gets his way all the time. Some people look down on submission as if it were something demeaning, degrading, and humiliating. Ladies, you have to stop looking at that word like it is demeaning and degrading and humiliating. You're making a bad mistake thinking that way, especially these, I'm sorry to say this, but I got to be real and honest, especially these modern women today. The modern women today got a tremendous problem with this word submission. It's totally different than the ladies of old. Because a lot of times these women, I'm going to say it again, feel like submitting is demeaning, degrading, and humiliating when it is not. And that's why so many women in the age of 30 and up desire to be married, but they are not married because they have the wrong mentality when it comes to submitting. Ladies, when God said for a woman to submit to her husband, it was woven into the DNA of us as men, woven into the fabric of our being, that we are supposed to have a woman that submits to us. When God said a woman is to submit to her man, then automatically it is woven into us. It is pressed in our DNA as men to have a woman that submits to us. That's what we look for, ladies. This is what I'm trying to convey to you. Ladies out there that's still single, we are looking for that. Especially, I can't say it enough, especially men of value. A high value man. And I believe that's the type of man you're looking for, a man of value. Okay? But that man of value is looking for that woman that is submissive and not afraid of it. Let me continue to go. Submission is this for a woman. For a wife that practices submission to her husband does not mean she should be a silent yes person or doormat. You still have a voice. It doesn't mean we run all over you and we walk all over you. That's not what it means. It's not a demeaning. Submitting is an awesome, it's awesome. It's beautiful to possess that quality, ladies. I'm telling you, it is beautiful to possess that quality. And that's what we are looking for as men. Nor does it mean she should have no opinions of her own. Rather, a wife who chooses to take an attitude of submission towards her husband is a wife who has a heart of being supportive to him. A woman that is supportive, that's what we're looking for. These are the types of attributes that comes along with a woman that is submissive. She is a support system for her man. She's supportive to him. She does so because she chooses to do so. Now, you got to understand, ladies, even though God told a woman to submit to her husband, it's still a choice. You have to choose that you're going to be a submissive woman. Even right now, today, you can choose that you are going to be a submissive woman, a submissive wife, a submissive lady for your man. Because that's what he needs. If you do that, he's going to benefit from all of the other attributes that's going to come along with you being submissive. And it's going to bless him. And let me tell you something, ladies, what you're missing. It's going to bless you even the more. So in choosing to support her husband, she is empowering him to have the self-respect he needs. He will develop into the kind of man who accepts his role and responsibilities in the home. Look how you driving him. Look how you transforming that man to be the type of man he's supposed to be in the home, all stemming from you being submissive. He will seek to carry out his God-ordained position of protecting, providing for, and leading his family. Now, you can't tell me, ladies, that's not what you're looking for in a man. We possess that. Most men possess that quality. Pull it out of us. It will show up. Every action has a reaction. Your action of submission has a reaction. You pull it out of us, ladies, when you are submissive to us. It puts us in the position of protecting and providing and leading our families, leading our households. When a wife submits, she is being a helper to her husband in the broad sense of the word. You got that? Like, she is being a helper in the broad sense of that word when she submits to him. This is what submitting means. Please tell me, how is this so degrading? How is this so humiliating? It's not. Some reason or another, you women today have defined submitting as some low-grading, disrespectful attribute that you don't want to possess. And that's why so many of you today are not married. Because a man of value, a man of quality, is looking for that in his woman when he is making a decision on who he's going to choose to be his bride. Don't you forget it. This is so important. So what has to happen, ladies, is that you don't wait. You don't wait until you're married to say, you know what, well, I'll submit then. No. See, you're messing up. The choice has to be made right now, today, before the marriage. You have to start practicing that now. Why? I told you why. Because we are the ones that initiates the proposal. We are the ones that pops the question, will you marry me? So before that question will be asked, or before the person is identified, we make sure that she is a woman that is a submissive woman, because she's going to bring along with her all of the other wonderful and beautiful qualities and attributes that that man need in his life that will make y'all a complete and perfect partnership. But when you choose not to submit, he don't want that, because it comes with other things that he don't want to put up with. He don't want to put up with that other stuff for the rest of his life. He don't want to put up with disrespect. He don't want to put up with selfishness. He don't want to put up with you being so argumentative. That comes along, and the list goes on and on. But that comes along when you have chosen not to be submissive. So right now, ladies, your attention, and I'm trying to guide your attention to yourself. This isn't the time to look at the man. This is a time to self-reflect. Look at you, see where you are. And if after examining yourself and you come to the conclusion that you are not submissive, change it. It's that simple. Change it. Start being submissive. Develop the attitude of submitting to your man. I'm going to help him, just like everything I just listed. The qualities that you will possess. You help him. You encourage him. He's needed. You support him. That's what he's looking for. That's what men of value look for. It's not about beauty. It's not about just beauty now. Even though men are very visual, we are visual beings. It starts there. But I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't end there. It starts there, but it doesn't end there. Okay, you caught our attention. You caught our eye by how you look. Okay, but let me tell you something. At some point, we're going to peel back the beauty because we need to see what lies underneath it. And what lies underneath it, if it's not what we need, we're not giving the proposal. We're not popping the question. So you can be, that's why some of the most beautiful women on the earth are single, not married, because they feel their value is their beauty. And that's where you're so wrong. Some women feel their value is their body, and that's where you're so wrong. You know how many other beautiful women out there, but when you peel back, they have value underneath. They are a woman that is submit, encourage, supports, gentle, wonderful spirit, not argumentative. You understand what I'm saying, ladies? So don't ever get hung up on just your beauty or your body, because that's short-lived. When we peel all of that back, I need to know what lies underneath. That's what men of value look for. That's what men of quality look for and pay attention to. Before we say, I do, or before we even pop the question. So I hope this helped you even further. This is part 2, and I hope it helped you even further. I'm going to hit on a lot of things involving relationship. So just stay connected with me. We're going to go further. We're going deeper. I love this discussion. I love when you converse back with me. I love when you comment. I love when you send me messages. I'm going to bring some of you on live to talk with me here, right here on the podcast. Let's do it. Let's get better. That's all I'm saying. Let's get better. So when we out there looking, when us men, we're out there looking for that bride, you want to be chosen because you told me you desire to be married. That means you want to be chosen. Men of quality, men of value, is looking specifically for those attributes. And if she doesn't possess them, he's not choosing you. I'm Tony McElveen. Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. Like I tell you, don't worry about it. Let's talk about it. Peace.